Well, yesterday we got the 3 new main parts that we need for this. For that motor mount up there, we got a replacement motor mount. So we're going to have to lower the car back down. We're going to have to change all that out. But it needs to be done. That's just, that motor mount's cooked. We also got one more motor mount for right here, I believe. Where is it? Here. Because this one here is cooked. It's actually already been filled with silicone because it's cheaper to fill stuff with silicone than actually fix it. So, I'm going to do this. And the last item we got was a new clutch. Now, we bought a cheaper one, but it's brand new. It has a lot more life left in it than the old one, but we're going to keep the old one just in case we end up needing it down the road later on the season and we're running out of money or something like that. The old one still works, but we have it apart, so we might as well put a new one in there. So, I guess let's get this motor out of the way, and we can get this car lowered down and change out this mount. We can change this mount right here, so let's stop hesitating and get going. So, we got that back motor mount out, and when I was looking at it, I thought it needed to be replaced, and let's just say I wasn't wrong. So, here's the motor mount, and there's the motor mount in 2 pieces. So it's actually completely busted that motor mount right out of it. But, hello. What we have here is a new motor mount. So hopefully by putting this in, we now make it so the car does not vibrate nearly as bad, because he was saying that the shifter was basically shaking almost out of control. So by changing this, hopefully we have it fixed. So the next step right now is the clutch, and we're just going to take it right out of the box. Now unfortunately this one did not come with an align-up tool, so we don't have an alignment tool for the clutch, but it's a small clutch, so we should be able to do it with our eyes pretty damn good. Just finding the 12.10 mil bolt to put in there, and the pressure plate. Now how you want to do this is you want to start all the bolts at the same time, and then you want to tighten 3 of them in a triangle pattern, and then get those 3 tight, and then go around and bring the other 3 in so that they're torqued all the spec, obviously. But I basically have to do all this with a 10 mil wrench because I don't have a 12.10 mil socket. So let's get started. We had to switch around the alternators because the alternator on the donor motor was dead. It was C-solid and it was actually interfering with on how I was able to turn the motor over. So I replaced it before it went in because it's just much easier to replace it before it goes in, obviously. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to position this how I want it, just like that. And I'm just going to turn the car until I get to where I want it. Now let's get this motor back in this car, because it ain't doing no good sitting on the ground, that's for sure. It's going to take some negotiations here. You! Get into there! Hey, you! Get into my car. Now, so as soon as it makes contact, it kind of stops the car in the front end, so that's what I'm keep looking for, is the cart to move or the car to stop. Just basically a notification that something is hitting. Like right now, that rear motor mount's hitting. Okay, so now what I want is I want this motor to go back roughly, I don't know, I'm going to say 4 inches. It's a looking pretty close there. Let's see if we can continue coming down. Okay, so our motor mount, ooh, I almost got my finger. I gotta come back up with it. So that side's coming in. Now I just need to do this side. Oh, that looks beautiful. Now I just have to find a baggie with all the motor mounts in it, which looks to be about this one right here. Gonna do the passenger side first because it's right at it. Just a little bit of anti-seize. Find it helps out. Well, there you go. Motor's back in. Now basically we just have to finish motor mount and putting all the motor mounts in. So I'll do that and I'll see you guys back here in a bit. I've been working on this motor now for about 30 minutes, putting all the motor mounts in, connecting all the electrical up to the fuse panel. But I ran into a couple problems. You guys may have seen me already switch out the alternator because that was seized. Now the throttle body, that's seized. So that's just more parts I got to take off this motor and put onto here. So when you're going to go buy a new car, or a new motor, sorry, and you don't know the history of it, make sure that everything moves. Like distributor cap, make sure it spins. Pull on the belt to make sure you can get the motor to spin over. Fuck with the intake, see if it opens and closes. Just the basic stuff. But let's get this swapped over and keep going. So I've spent almost all day putting this thing back together. I had to leave to go pick up some cars and I came back. But throttle cable is a little tight, so it's revving a little high. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix that yet, but I'll look into that. All the axles are back in. Everything's went back together. I got the shift linkages in. I got the new motor mounts in. Still have to put the rad in. And the exhaust still needs a piece to connect where the cap's now missing. But she runs, so it's successful. So I'm pretty happy about that, but that's the job done, I say. Thanks for watching Zach's Workshop. Hopefully this thing will be on the track again soon. And happy to help a buddy out and get his race career under the right path.